Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a second part to the list of reviews, the list of method reviews for 3x3, because I covered the most popular ones in the first part. Now I'm going to cover some of the more unpopular methods and to clear up ZZ method. Alright, so I figured out ZZ method shortly after I made that video. And basically, what you do is, let's say I mix this up, okay? Now I don't use ZZ, I don't use it to solve, but basically what you do is you make something called, hold on just a second, you make something called an EO line, which is like that. And after you do that, you're supposed to orient the top layer across, I think, yeah. And then you're supposed to use block building for completing F2L with only using RU and L moves, and then you use a ZZLL to complete the last layer. Alright, so now let's go into, I'm going to do two beginners method and a lot more speed cube methods. Now, the methods I'm going to go into, most people's just slightly know. But I'm not going to go over all of the methods, because there are some that not like every person has known, not a whole lot of people have known. So I'm going to start with the beginners methods. So first up, for beginners method is a method called 8355. Now this is a method that is similar to the beginners method, however it uses a lot less algorithms, maybe I think 1 to 3 algorithms in this method, but it has like 100 plus moves. Alright, so you basically solve the cross. This is done intuitively, of course. Alright, then you solve, wait, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So basically what you do is you place all the corners. Again, I will be not making method reviews. Alright, then you place the edges in the E line. Now, oh wait a second, I don't think you're supposed to have a corner down here. I think you're supposed to have one corner unsolved. But anyway, you get the EO line. And then basically what you do is you hold the remaining unsolved corner plus edge piece in the front right. Then what you do from this point is that you do a certain amount of moves where it hold on. Okay, so you do a certain amount of moves, or like a certain move, until 3 up layer edges are solved, and then you basically swap those 2 edges, and you do a whole lot more steps from then point on, which is probably why it has probably 100 plus methods. Well, not 100 plus moves. God, I can't think today. But yeah, that's basically a short overview of the 8355 method. Alright, next up we're going into something called beginner Petrus. Now, beginner Tetris isn't really very different from actual Tetris, Speedcube Tetris. You do as you normally do. You create the. Actually, when I did Tetris, I think I used beginner Tetris. So what you do is you basically make a 2x2 block as usual. Then you expand that 2x2 block into a 2x2x3. If I can find all the pieces. My look ahead sucks with Tetris, but yeah. Oh, jeez. Alright, but you pretty much expand that into a 2x2x3 block. Then on normal Tetris, you just place all the bad edges. You orient all the bad edges using only R and U moves. Sometimes I use F, like I did there, to orient it. And then the only difference between beginner Tetris and actual Tetris is that you're supposed to use block building for F2L, but in beginner Tetris you pretty much use slots for F2L, and that's pretty much it for beginner Tetris. Alright. Next up is a method that I learned actually last night, and I actually like this method. Alright, so if you're familiar with corner first method, you might want to move on to this method, and it's called the Waterman method. Now, the Waterman method is pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Basically, how I do it is you get 3 pieces of the cross. Like that. You get 3 pieces of the cross, and then you solve all of the corners. Now, this might not be like, well, this for me actually this isn't full Waterman. I'm using Waterman Basic. So, oh, jeez. Dang, I dropped the cube. Alright, so you should have something like that with the entire first layer solved except for that one piece. Now, I don't think this is traditional Waterman, but that's the way I do it. Then you move on to CLL. How I do it is I orient all the corners first, and then I permute them. And now all of the corners are permuted with one layer pretty much solved, except for one piece. Then you use this one slot as a keyhole. It's basically like the way I do it. It basically is corners first method, but in some ways it's a bit different. So you use keyholing to get the whoa. Yeah, sorry, keyholing doesn't usually take this long. Alright, so you use keyholing to get this top layer. Oh, and look, hold on. Oh geez, what happened? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna set up the case that you could run into. Alright, so here's the case where you run into where you have this top layer solved, and this one edge piece needs to be inserted into the bottom layer. So then you do like a simple algorithm to do that. Alright, and then you pretty much solve the you solve this M slice right here using only like M and U moves. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do the Waterman. Alright, that was basic Waterman at least. That contained only a few algorithms, where full Waterman contains 117 algorithms. Alright, next up is a really uncommon method that not a whole lot of speedcubers use it. It's called L2L, where I think how it goes is that you get the first layer and then you solve the last two layers, hence the name L2L. It's kind of like opposite Friedrich, except yeah, it's pretty much opposite Friedrich. It's pretty weird. Alright, that's pretty much it for L2L. There's not a whole lot on it. So next up is the tripod method. So the tripod method is again an uncommonly used SpeedCube method, where alright, so first off, you start off by building a 2x2 block, 2x2x2 block. Alright, so I have my 2x2x2 block right here, and then you expand that into a 2x2x3. Now it is expanded into a 2x2x3. Then you want to solve a 1x2x2 block anywhere like on the top. I've never actually tried doing this before, so it could be a difficult step for me, so just hang in there with me. Hold on. Alright, so I finally made the 2x2x3 block and the 1x2x2 block on here. That was a really intuitive step. Alright. Then you want to make another 1x2x2 block, like right down here, anywhere right down there would do. So let me just do that. One. Alright, so I made my other 1x2x2 block on here. And the only thing you have to deal with now is this thing, this little tripod here. And then you do like a certain number of algorithms, and that's how you and then alright, then you insert the L2L slot and then finish the last layer using one of 58 algorithms. So that's pretty much it for tripod method. Alright. Next up we have what did I not do? Oh, that's right. Actually, no, I'm gonna save the best for last. So, hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, so next up we have the Schneider method. Now, that's a weird method to say, just Schneider method. So this was invented by Anthony Schneider in 1982. And basically what you do is you form a 2x2 block. See, this is the problem I have with block building. I can't ever, like, find pieces. Alright, so we formed our 1x2x2 block. Or, sorry, 2x2x2 block. Alright, then you have an optional X cross, which is like that right there. And then you can use like a variety of methods to finish F2L. Except for one corner edge pair, and you're left with this last slot right here. And then you place the final corner edge pair while simultaneously orienting the cross on here. Simultaneously orienting the last layer's edges. And the last layer's edges are solved by the last three corners, and that is the Schneider method. So, what do we have next? What other methods are there? Oh, I know. So, oh yeah. So, you know how I said I'd save the best for last? Well, here it is. The ZB method. The ZB method is probably the crown, is probably the holy grail of all speed cubing methods, because it is extremely efficient, but it's a bit hard to learn because it has a number of algorithms from 302 to 799. So it has a maximum of 799 algorithms, which is why most people don't learn it. But it's extremely efficient though. It's algorithm intense, but it's efficient. So what you do is it's kind of like a really advanced method of LBL. So basically what you do, I guess, is that you solve the cross as usual. Alright, then I guess you solve so yeah, oh sorry, I can't think straight today. Yeah, you solve 3 corner edge pairs for F2L. Then yeah, so you solve 3 corner edge pairs for F2L. Then you leave this last slot out, and basically to complete this last slot, you don't use Friedrich algorithms, you don't use any other kind of intuitiveness or other method algorithms. You use what's called ZBLS, or ZB last slot, which finishes F2L while simultaneously orienting the edges of the last layer. And then you use something that is the reason why ZB method is the holy grail of speed cubing. So the whole reason why it is the step after ZBLS. It's something called ZBLL, which is a method in which you can solve the last layer using only one algorithm. So it's a one-look last layer. So, but the downside of it is that you have to learn about 493 algorithms if you want to learn full ZBLL. And so you use ZBLL to complete the last layer, and that's about it. So I think that's all the methods I'm going to go over. If I'm... Oh, no. I was missing one. That's right, I was missing one. It's called WV, or winter variation. Winter variation is where you solve the cross, then you solve 3 slots of F2L. So I'm just going to do that right now. This method is basically like a modded version of Friedrich. Alright, so you get the, so you get all of them, you get all of the last layer, not the last, you get all of the F2L slots except for one, and then you use something called winter variation, which has about maybe 27 algorithms to, oh, right, the cross, all of the edges have to be oriented before you do winter variation, and then you do a single algorithm which which basically skips OLL and moves you right onto PLL. And I think that's all the methods I'm going to review today. Thanks guys for watching. Sorry if I don't have a clear understanding of this. I'm not the best reviewer or teacher. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later.